couple of seconds, he's grabbing some drinks. But we will start without him. He should be in the lobby, I think. So as soon as he comes back, we can, yes, good English, we can jump right back into dual casting. But anyways, let's introduce our players. Spawning down in the bottom left hand side of Derelict Watcher, it will be the green Zerg player from IMPG. It is Zenin. And in the opposing corner, we are looking at the purple Protoss player from CSC. It is going to be Adon Minus. Once again, we are looking at a PvZ matchup here. This time on Derelict Watcher. Of course, it is oftentimes confused with Star Station just because it looks so much like Star Station, especially from the tile set and everything. But it is in general a pretty different map, even though it might look alike a little bit. First of all, it is a 2-player map, meaning that of course the rush distances are a lot shorter than, for example, on Star Station. And also, the third base, at least in my opinion, is a lot easier to defend, just because you have one ramp leading into it, and that ramp is also pretty close to your natural. So you can basically set up shop right about here, between the two ramps, and you should be good to defend both of your expansions there.
I'm back.
Alright, Del, wonderful.
Sorry to throw you in the deep end there. I've been under the weather the last 2 days and I had to take some medication and it took longer than expected, so here I am and I'm not dead, so hooray!
Yeah, would have been unfortunate if you've died. I mean, I probably would have missed you.
Especially for you in solo casting the rest of the night.
That would have been really bad, because I hate solo casting.
It definitely takes a certain type of person to talk that much.
Yeah,
so we see...
Sorry, just go on. I was about to talk a little bit about my personality, but I don't think anybody cares.
We hatched down for our Zerg player. First gas, so speed coming up, I imagine.
Yep.
A gateway and I think Cybercore down, if... I can't see it because I follow the observer, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's a... There he is. Attaboy! Well done. It's a Cybercore. Fantastic.
By the way, once again, guys, observing is done by the online gamer, in case you are wondering. Just
one of the best observers going. I truly believe that.
I think you don't need an AdaBC if you have the online gamer.
Right. AdaBC. Who's AdaBC?
I don't know. Probably some weird Canadian guy. Anyways, yeah. Also, Dominus will now throw down his own Nexus here, just in the nick of time. Pretty usual timing here for a gateway expansion. And I also like that move. He's putting his probe there, just to be able to block any kind of link run boys.
Yep.
And I mean, a lot of players just don't do that, and they will end up having a couple of links in the early stage of the game, roaming around their main base, and that is just so annoying. Believe me, guys, it is the worst thing.
I'm happy to see the Mothership core. And a robo, very early robo. Oh, well, not very early, but reasonably early robo. That's a grubby timed robo, that is. We do see, can we, if you get a chance, observer, can we have a look at the decal that the Zerg player is using? I really like it against the black background of the creep.
That Hydralisk skill there.
Yeah,
it's nice. Gotta say
nice,
that.
isn't it? It looks really good in green. Anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Gotta completely agree with you there. Green probably suits that decal the most. Yeah. But anyways, once again we see the Warp Prism play out of Adominus here, just like what was his face? Something with A, I think. Nanaki. Nanakin, absolutely, that is his name.
I have a feeling that this will be better timed. I'm not sure why. I just I feel like he probably knows. Maybe that was the first time Nanakin's tried that strat, or maybe he doesn't have it down properly, but he probably knows that 4 sentries is... You load 4 sentries into the Warp Prism, then you send it out and you warp in Zealots and Stalkers at the base. But we'll see. Hopefully he's got it down pat. We do see an Immortal coming out. Interesting.
Yeah, now just once again, we have those couple of 2 links there, and without that probe standing there in the wall in, they would have slipped on by. Just once again pointing that out, because it is so awesome, and it really... No one does that. I just love it.
I really like the positioning of the Warp Prism. It's behind the main, hidden, so it will never be seen by pretty much anyone. It's right up in the top right-hand corner. And
he
he's
might
just, he's,
actually even go for an immortal drop here. First one is already being constructed.
well,
Maybe
what
two
I'm thinking
immortals and
is,
one immortal and 2 sentries.
yeah,
No,
what
he's
I'm
gonna go
well,
for the immortal drop.
yeah, I'm thinking double immortals,
Yep.
and then 4 gateways will come online. This is something that we saw Naniwa do so supremely well in WCS, one of the last games he played to
Ooh.
get into the finals, and it was so
Look-
well
sorry.
executed
Look
that
at all
I've
those
watched that
gateways.
video like 8 times. Yeah, this is the Naniwa build basically.
Wow. That will put him up to 7. Also, Warpgate should be finishing up here any moment. I don't really think Zenin has identified that till now. I mean, he saw 3 gateways building there in the natural. But that is just pretty standard if you want to get your wall in up. Oh, but he sees the wall prism now. That is big time for him, so he definitely knows what is coming up immediately. Building 8 roaches there. But those 8 won't be enough. Gotta get way more than that.
Yeah, this is. I will make one slight adjustment. The Naniwa build is only 4 gates, but it strikes at about 7:10. So this is going to be slightly later, but quite a bit more powerful. I think he's going to try and bust through that wall at the natural right now with a couple of lings just to try to bring a Don minus home. But I don't think he's going to return home because he knows he can basically win the game with his push, and that is a lot of zealots.
Indeed, it is a lot. No upgrades though. But also the Zerg player has no upgrades whatsoever, so they are pretty much even, and now the Zealots and the Immortals are walking forward. I would also like a couple of sentries being added to the mix here, but he decides to go for a couple of additional Stalkers here, also not a bad choice. But he has to be careful because Zenin is already pretty much well set up, but of course nice time mobs going down there, meaning that the Zealots can close into all those units. Of course also the Immortals in the background take a lot, or do a lot of damage, but eventually the Mothership core will fall here. That is a little bit unfortunate, and also a lot of units, or at least the Zealots, are dying here from Zenin, but of course more are being warped. It has to be careful not to lose his Immortals here. Nice pullback though, still time mobs are active, that is helping him out big time. And also the Warp Prism just barely survives him with 2 HP. Losing that would have been a big pull-under here for him. Nice pickup there, saving the Immortals. But I think Zenin might be able to hold this push here.
Yeah, it definitely worked out better there for Zenin. I think he, the only thing he really lost there was roaches.
And links, yeah.
Really, it was a really nice push, but here we go, another in the third here. Warping in more zealots, but there's just so much stuff here for Zenin. He's really committed to these roaches. The one positive effect maybe of a really nice Warp Prism micro there, but I think he's going to pack up and get out with that 1 immortal left. I think the big effect of this attack has been wasted lava. He hasn't been able to drone up, while Adominus has probably been probing the whole time. So, I mean, that can help, but it won't be too big of a deal.
I think Adominus pretty heavily committed towards that aggression. He is down in workers a lot. For sure, he has wasted a lot of lava. But his base, his third base is not up here. It is not nearly being set up because he just has no army to defend it. And he even blocked himself in, meaning that he definitely wanted to go for the kill with this attack here. But he just didn't even kill workers. I mean, he basically did no damage and lost a lot of things. If we take a look at the lost units, he's basically down 1,000 resources already. With his third base not being even started quite so far, he is so far behind you can't even imagine.
This is one of the big bonuses to having this Warp Prism, just kind of, you know, staying behind a few bases, is that a Zerg player is just terrified of moving out. We see 1 or 2 Lings trying to pull this pylon down, but it's not going to happen. A lot of warp-ins there. But I realized how to say his name. I looked at it for a few minutes. It's add-on minus, like, you know, mathematics, add-on minus. Yep.
Yeah,
there we go.
That might work out. You're such a smart guy.
Thank you. It took me 10 minutes to figure it out.
I mean, I probably wouldn't have come up with such a thing like that. Once again, we have a huge army here being constructed. Add-on minus might just very well go for the second row of, or second rounds of attack here, once again having a huge army. Oh well, no, he's gonna throw on his Nexus, never mind. But Zenin will definitely go for the attack here, already got a couple of Hydros and Roaches out. But of course has to be careful, because the army of an add-on minus is not too big and also not too small, and we have a lot of force fields. He's also in a pretty nice position, meaning that Zenin basically cannot engage that properly.
I like the threat of this Warp Prism. He's using it really effectively to warp in from angles, and I think he was trying to do something shifty in that first engagement, maybe warping Zealots behind the Roaches, but it started to take some damage, and both players just... And here we go, big engagement. There's just so many units. Really nice force fields there, trapping all of those Roaches. Well, many of them. And these Immortals are going to start to go to work on these Roaches, but there's so many Hydras and they shred gateway units.
Absolutely, and also by now, add-on minus is out of force fields, meaning that all the Roaches, all the units basically can get close to the circuit, the Taurus units here. But eventually it seems like he should be able to hold on at least one more time. But of course he lost his Warp Prison, meaning that he has to build another one.
I feel like Senin probably could have broken through there if he had just committed a little bit more, and I think he knows it, so he's bringing up some more reinforcements and maybe going for another attack. Just Hydras just shred gateway units and Zealots especially so fast. And
yeah,
here we go.
He's just basically playing it very, very cautious now, once again moving in, taking out already one Immortal. I mean, he could definitely commit, he could basically go for the killing blow here, but the key thing about StarCraft is when you're ahead, get more ahead. And that is just what Senin is doing at the moment. He's throwing down his 4th base in a quite wonky position, I have to say. Usually would go for that one here in the bottom, but I think that one works as well. And he's just applying pressure. He's basically forcing add-on minus to build a lot of units and not so much focus on his pro production here. And that is a very smart move.
Locust Ranger, I can't remember the name of it. Enduring Locusts coming down, so we're going to transition to Swarm Host play, which I think it will be the point where add-on minus just kills himself instantly. As a Protoss player, you do not want to face Swarm Host, so if he doesn't identify it soon, this game will be over fairly quickly.
Absolutely, I mean, his options by now would be maybe getting the robotics support dock or whatever that thing is called, to be able to get out a couple of Colossus, but of course, by the time those Locusts or those Swarm Hosts will arrive, he will have no chance of having any Colossi, meaning that he will have to fight with his gateway units and his couple of Immortals against those Locusts.
Oh god.
And
there are 8 Swarm Hosts, 2 more on the way, and the Spire is now going down. So if the Swarm Hosts don't work, he's going to switch to probably Mutas, which is Protoss' second worst nightmare. Although the Spire could be just for the what are they called? Raptors and the Yankee things. Why am I blanking?
The Yankee things, I don't think Wipers need a Spire.
Don't they?
I think
really?
they just need tier 3.
Okay,
But anyway,
I thought they were...
Swarmhosts,
anyway.
Swarmhosts are being borrowed here in front of the base. Add-on minus is trying to push forward because he knows by now he definitely has to make something work by. Of course, Lynx getting a nice round. Force fields are a little bit late, but they work kinda, but now the Lynx are surrounding the Stalkers and also the Roaches are pushing forward. And in combination with those Locusts, I think Senin should be able to... Why are you not attacking? Oh, because there are Zealots coming in from the back. Once again, nice abusage there by the Warp Prism, but of course it is just not enough for the Protoss player. And Senin will just eventually overrun him, and now with the next round of Locusts, he will be pushing forward. And GG is called.
I really like that final engagement there. I knew that at some point in the game he was going to do something funky with that Warp Prism, and that was a really nice move. I feel that there were just too many Stalkers in his composition, and he used Guardian Shield too sparingly. Guardian Shield versus Hydras and Locusts is amazing. It's basically like if you had 2 extra researchers at a forge. You know, imagine if you could research +5 armor at a forge. How amazing that would be. So I think Guardian Shield is underused against Roach Hydra especially. And if we saw it more, it might be a little bit more effective. But Swarm Hosts were on the map, so free units are very cost-effective against Protoss. And I still keep getting this error message. It's really annoying. I heard about it on another stream earlier today.
I think you're just doing too many things at the same time. You gotta calm down, man.
I'm literally not doing anything. I'm just sitting in the menu talking into a microphone.
Alright, so second game is being set up at the moment. You guys can join on me. There we go. And also all the other casters are joining the game here. So I think we should be able to go for it here in a couple of moments. But once again, to get back to the previous game we saw, I mean, I really like the way Anonymous used his add-on minus or anonymous. I think it was add-on minus.